Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining this really quick. I wanted to show you a really fast overview of how to use the Your Health Pro app. If you look at the app right here, it's the little app with the the green Y. It says Your Health Pro. If you need the link, we could send that to you. Just shoot us a text or an email and we'll send that over to you. We're going to click on the app. Now this is for the providers, for you as the phlebotomist. It shows, if you notice, it shows all clear. It looks like you have no tasks for this day, right? I can click right here on that little April up there. See that April 30th, right? Let me clear these. And I'm going to touch on that right there, and it's going to show up. So if I have anything scheduled for myself, it's going to have a little green dot. You see the little green dot here, right? That little green dot will show up in like around these numbers, okay? So when those numbers show up, you just click on it, and then you click on the view task right here. If you want to look at your whole summary, you can look at your summary, but you just find the little green dot, click on view task. Right now, we're gonna click this little X right up here, okay? Now we're gonna go and click these little three lines up in this top left-hand side, all right? You gotta touch those. And now this is the full menu. The menu shows, if you notice that at the very top there, it says off duty. I'm gonna now click right there and swipe on that to turn it to on duty. Okay, now this is gonna ask for face recognition, okay? Let me switch my camera on here. It's gonna ask for face recognition. And you can see my little face here, right? It will not work unless it recognizes my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on my face. I'm gonna take a little picture there. And it works best if you have a solid background. Your profile picture has to match. So your profile has to have a good solid background. So when you take your profile picture the first time you log in, it is good to have a solid background. Don't have a bunch of things in the background, otherwise it's gonna not see it, and it's gonna be a hard time to log in each time. If you need to change your profile picture, you need to send us the picture. We need to upload it. It's a security feature. You can't change your profile unless we do it. We will have to do that. The first time you could set it up. After that, we have to change it just as a security feature. That way, not just anybody can change it, okay? Make sure you have a nice solid background behind you so it sees your face, okay? Don't make these weird faces and stuff every time. Make sure it's solid. It'll be much easier for you to go on duty from that point on, okay? So now if you notice I'm on duty, it'll show up here in that little green where it shows green. I'm on duty now. I'm gonna clear this out. Okay, now we have notifications. It's the next one down. I'm gonna click on notifications. There's nothing in there. If I had any notifications from the company asking me certain things would pop up in there. We're gonna click that little X up here in the top side again. And it goes back to all clear, right? So I'm gonna click on the top three little buttons there again, and I could fix my schedule as well. Now I could change my schedule however I want to in here, you know? Right now it only goes at a week at a time. We are gonna switch that so it goes a little bit farther than a week, but right now it goes a week at a time. I could change the scheduling. If I wanted to change right now it shows me on duty between 7 and 4. If I wanted to change it, I'm gonna go ahead and just click on it, and now I can change it. I can say, I'm gonna be, I can set this time for open between 1 and 1:45 a.m. Or if I wanted to take this off, I could say, I'm not unavailable, right? So I'm going to make it gray. I'm not available for these times, okay? And then now you can mark as unavailable for that time, that type of thing. You can just play around with it. You can set your schedule as you like, okay? We're going to click on these little things up in the corner again, okay? Now I could look at the earnings. Keep in mind the earnings this is like a reference right now. Once the actual, all the other pieces are working in the app, you'll see the actual earnings of what you make. Right now, it is approximate. So don't get concerned if you say, oh, but it's a lot lower than what I was quoted. It's okay. We take care of that on the backside. It's just basically the way it's operating right now. Okay. We're working through those things though with our staff. Chat with Your Health Pro. So this piece should be working in about a week. Where it says chat with Your Health Pro, you can send us a chat message. This is all HIPAA compliant. It's secure. You could talk with our staff internally. It's all through the app. It's really sweet. It's really awesome. It's not live yet, so you could actually chat, but it doesn't come live on both sides yet. You can go through your settings, look at your ringtone, how do you want to be notified and everything. Just you could look at your mapping, how you want to set it. Play around with it, set it up however you want to. If you're driving a car, if you ride a bicycle to things, if you drive a big truck, it all depends. But you can put in your vehicle type and everything, and then it tells the patient what kind of vehicle you're driving. It's really kind of cool. That way they know what to look for. Especially if you go to gated communities, it's nice to have that. If you're curious about how this app works, you can click on the tutorial, and it'll kind of walk you through everything. There's next, here's the calendar, how you can access everything. It tells you everything on there. It's really nice. But, oops, I'm trying to go through and fill you guys in on how to really make sure that you accept it. You know how to accept cases, okay? So if you have any questions, you could always hit support. It'll pop up for how you want to message us, whether it be, email or anything. You can reach out to us anytime. Let's look at the profile really quick. You see my profile picture. It does have some things in the background, but it still worked pretty good. If I wanted to change my profile picture, you notice how it says, please contact system administrator to update your profile picture. We have to do that. You could text it to us, to our main number, the 541-664-4382 number, and we can change that for you anytime, okay? All right, so next, let me I'm going to go ahead and place an order for a test. So I'm going to go to my main screen on my phone, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and place this order here. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and place an order. So this is how an order comes in the system, okay? All of a sudden, so my phone, I have it set so it doesn't really vibrate and notify me really loud. But if you notice, you see it on the Your Health Pro, it shows 2, right? So that means I have some things popping up on it. I'm going to open it up, and there's a new task. It shows a new task at the bottom. I'm going to click on it, and it shows, it's going to give me, usually it'll bing and really notify you. Your phone will make a lot of noise and stuff, okay? But if you look at the bottom here, it says accepted. You're going to have about 5 minutes to accept a case like this, okay, after it's binging and making noise to you. This one is what is considered an it automatically assigns from the system, okay? So when you're on duty, it'll automatically find you when you qualify for that type of collection that comes into the system. So I encourage you guys to keep your app to on duty when you want to accept cases, because these cases will come out to you right away, okay? And it works very well. If you're off duty, we have to manually assign them to you and then see if you'll accept the case. In this case, it's going to automatically try to assign it to you. You're going to hit accept if you want to do it, because you can see everything on it. And so now you have your case. So anything that we show that it shows in our system as accepted, that means you agreed to be there at that date and time, okay? What if we went ahead and just assigned a case to you automatically? Hang on one moment here, it'll be really fast. Okay, We're going to create one for today. And I'm going to manually assign this. Okay, so when I manually assign it, it's going to bing, and you hear how the noise came in really loud, right? And it said a new task has been assigned to me. It's not giving me a timeline. You know, it's not giving me a timeline to change it, but that means somebody said, I really want you to do this drop. So they've given it only to me. When I have this one that pops up and gives me a timeline, that means it's going to go to me, then it's going to go to somebody else, then somebody else, then somebody else, and whoever accepts it gets to do that drop. When this is accepted, when this is put out to me only, it's going to show up in my app just like this. I'm going to hit, if I want to do this draw today, I can hit accept. Boop. Okay. Now it shows up as accepted. I have to accept the case in order to be able to do it, and it has to be on duty. Okay. I have to accept the case. Accepting the case tells our staff and tells our customers who can see who's accepting the case, tells our customers that you agreed to be there at that date and time. You now take ownership of that drop. You take ownership of that case. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to click on the first case, and we're going to look at this, right? It'll say, you know, here's the person's, we're going to look at the top here, the time of collection that's requested, right? Now we're going to look here. This is the patient's name or the person's name and contact information. This is the address of where I have to go. And this is the information, and all the information down here will be what I have to do regarding this case, okay? So in this case, if I go ahead and touch right here, if I touch here, it'll send this person a text message. If I touch here, I can call the patient automatically. I don't have to look up the phone number. I can just touch the text message, and it's going to pop up to try and send a text message, okay? Really easy, really simple. If I click right here, it's going to automatically follow the GPS. Pull up the GPS. Oh, if I turn this off and I go here, boop, and it's going to pop up the GPS.
Head south toward East Main Street, then turn right onto East Main Street.
Now, if you notice, this is still here, okay? What is that?
You're back online. You are on the best route.
Now, let's get
you
rid
should
of this
reach
thing
your
here.
destination by 9:30.
Okay, so if you see this, right, I can click on it and it pulls the app right back up. The app stays up in the front. Now you see this little button down here? Oh, let me move this whole thing up here. See this button down here? It says start. Okay, before you leave your home or before you leave to go to the collection, I want you to hit that start button. You have to hit that start button because that's what's going to track your mileage. So you hit start button. That means, and that tells us that you are en route. Now you're driving. Now this app is going to say, hey, this person's en route. Let's track this mileage because now we're going to pay for this mileage, right? So now we're tracking your mileage, and then you get to the person's home. You notice right here again, right? You get to the person's home or to the destination where you're supposed to work, and you swipe on arrived. Boom. That tells us that you're there. Okay. So now you're there. You're either working an event, and if you're working an event, that also starts your time. So if you're getting paid by the hour, we know how many hours you work, how many hours you're there. Okay. So when you're done, there's requirements, and those requirements are here. Okay. You see notes. If you want to put any notes in, we're going to touch on that little plus button, and we're going to type in a note. That's to tell us anything, information on the case. You notice here where it says required, everything that says required is required for you to do. You have to put in a signature. We're going to put in your signature saying, yes, I was here, I did that. And let's go ahead and put it in an image as well. We're going to take an image, And I can put a picture of myself in here. Okay, just because I wanted to take a picture, I want to take a picture of, say, the FedEx air bill or the requisition or box or whatever. And then you see this little button down here where it says barcode. Okay, you see all these little things. Let me see barcode right here. Okay, we're going to click on barcode, and I'm going to hit that little camera button, and there's a barcode, and it's going to automatically scan the barcode. You notice how I did that? Isn't that cool? So now you don't have to manually input a tracking barcode. The barcode's there already. It's a barcode scanner. It's built in for us. That's so awesome. Okay, now you swipe on successful, and voila, you're done. Took me 137 seconds. Mileage was 0, and it tells you all the information on it, right? So if we had a template put in here on this one, you could go through and find your earnings. And we did. You notice how it was? A total payout, $47.46. If I drove any mileage, any additional mileage, it would show me the mileage in there as well. And that's about it. That's what we are requiring from you guys for all of these collections. Please, please, please utilize it. If you have questions, contact us. We will get you in it. It is imperative that you start utilizing this app to its fullest, so we know when you're taking care of the collections, so you can accept them, and just have some fun with it. Test it out, play with it, get it to work. Thank you.